It's important to expect
It is settled, then. Please excuse me, and enjoy your conversation.
Thank you for arranging everything.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need...
Oh,
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mora and support. I understand.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of pain.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you. Because I didn't know what I could possibly... I know only the full
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have...
Would you mind sharing it with me?
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought mora was everything. So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he accepted. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so...
They found out...
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be...
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell. I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callis had always taken, even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for...
But Mama, why is Papa still... Papa always wanted to be a good man, so why did he...
Well, things aren't always as they seem.
Yeah, Papa was a...
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword.
Oh.
Thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth.
Thank you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak...
You really think so? That's the first time...
Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Laurent should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get myself together on the way, so please don't worry.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House. Someone got turned into...
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside. After my partner here put the dots together for me, can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Callis was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So, after that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking. My first reaction was that Mr. Callis's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made him... But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callis was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look...
So you also remember
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed. Reason being, Mr. Callis had left his gun on the table. I even made... But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other... About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a third...
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no... The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques. Or a third person on...
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callis ended up with the gun because he seized... But hold on. If that's what had happened, he didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine. And chose instead... Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eye?
About that, Malouse told me a thing or two. So, I think I can I'll tell you everything.
I understand. Then, I'll leave Mr. Callis's honor in your... And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callis the Unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side since the day it was in... Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callis. But it was Mr. Callis's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula. No matter what others might say, he'll always be the man I respect the most.
Don't worry. I will you and all our other comrades at the Hey, Thierry!
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia?
Oh.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the guards, you know.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances...
I mean, where I work, Callis did a fantastic job running the town. Building Spina di Rosula from the ground up. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy... Anyway, enough chit-chat.
Yes. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case, and my father's, may be...
I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right? If you want to go through the original files from your father's case...
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question.
Of course. Without them, I couldn't... Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to...
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of... So... if you, hypothetically, wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do was get rid of the mecha serial number.
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your... If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me, and removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it. So I can promise you, those mecha were definitely They're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you... I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so...
Add Ash. Thank you for Add Ash. Add Ash.
Hello. How may I help you?
I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just say Navia's looking for him.
Sure. I will let him know right away.
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you.
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Oh, you were at the
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into... I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the top.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right?
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away.
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can say...
Oh, and...
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial.
If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit.
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of... But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can always return there. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them...
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was...
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more. See...
Sounds good. Just let me know if you have... All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clean...
to all 3 suspects, purely based on their conversations.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's... Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to...
But where should we start? Ah, you're right! Flora mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circuit...
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had... If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh? And why is that?
Oh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his...
So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on... Makes sense. But without evidence... Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been... It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the...
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd followed...
Given everything that's happened since... but who among the 3 suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex? Florent? It is true that he was closest to my father, but as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly...
So you're saying he's too broke to afford...
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to Uncle Marcel? My father did really trust him. And they worked together on a large... And with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford... It's still really hard for me to imagine, though. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of mora and energy to fight his own synth... Thierry, you say? Huh. It is possible, but... I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha. I also don't think...
Yeah. Had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able to prove it if the mecha were taken...
Who could it be? You know, if you think everything through, Uncle...
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down.
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered. When he laid out his case, the suspect is not... Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all...
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Yes. Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky. We need far more...
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for...
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials? What's so newsworthy about this one?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
What? Is that...
Yeah, we know him.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
Wait, how? None of our investigation...
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any...
Right, because they'll think that...
Yeah.
I understand. What? Huh? Split up? What do you mean? Just as expected. Since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, You're right. This is our best I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you to make it back.
We'll help you, just like you.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malus, Silver.
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might. It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Arania.
See you then! Now that Navia has set out for Aranias, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over. Huh. According to Malus's... Let's go and try to find the entrance. Finally found it! Huh. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base. It sure doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all. Ah, you're right. An important place like this is bound to have it. Navia's probably arguing up a storm right now to stall for us.
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartak. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the...
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm... However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their... In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have it. I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back.
Hey! Don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
No.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going... In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of...
That case had nothing to do with him. Huh? What's going on? Why is she interjecting again?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui Harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior but that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this? We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearance. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent.
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these... So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person you would like to charge instead?
That person is... Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Huh? What Confrérie?
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina deep?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also means taking... And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation. Knowing this, do you still wish to charge this man?
Yes.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court. Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away so that he may... Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney.
Apologies. It all just happened so quickly. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between me and...
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia, please present...
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case...
Navia, do you really think that I was... Come on, why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard... If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a suspect as well?
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now.
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières. During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques, lay dead from a gun. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken. The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, he chose to prove his innocence through a duel. Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clarande in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the injury. These are the known facts about the case.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, Jacques still had no... in truth, the third person shot Jacques first. and was shot in turn by my... After that, the true culprit turned the third person into water, erasing... Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. Of course, the guards can... However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information about the... Something's not... The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus. However, in the end, he reconsidered. And instead, unfortunately for Jacques, the true culprit had already considered the... This assassin first shot... of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once... But now, it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a third person at the scene. And since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all... Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to...
That's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water?
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective...
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal.
Ah, but I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly
Then, may I ask some questions? In my... 1, do you have the...
I'm afraid not.
If you don't have any evidence, you should just...
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes, again, we should be able to find him. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider that...
Why do I feel like Farina's...
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing...
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent...
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. Then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person had been...
I've thought about this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of this. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee that going forward. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial
What? If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been... Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of... But what good would that do? How can had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice? But by staying silent, we retained the ability to deter our opponents. I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot, and restore...
So, you mean to say...
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Clarand. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do... But since he entrusted his will to you, Clarand, you should tell us the truth.
So... During the duel, did you believe that...
As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles, and taken a countless in my line of work. I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Some were determined. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended to leave the...
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case...
Right? What she said was fascinating.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the series?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected via... In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. And, at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they... Coincidentally, Marcel attended both...
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reason, I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of your...
No need to appeal to Painter.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, can you prove that I was the only... On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't someone remotely monitor the place?
I don't know what she can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some further investigation. Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your own daughter? But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna
It's timing. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when I received Callus's patronage. But the disappearances began before I ever...
I do apologize, Demoiselle. This was my mistake.
No, it's not your fault. I'm sure...
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of my... You can also take a look at my border entry records. Or ask my friend, could those records and testimonies do something to appease the...
Seems like she got the wrong... At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feelings as he neared the end of his... But aren't you going against all of his wishes and He wished for you to become more rational, collected, once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into things. You'd have met most of his expectations.
This isn't just about me. And it never... The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability... The people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse The people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who suffered tragic ends due to their sense of many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some... And whose image? Is it a man named...
Huh.
Oh, so you do...
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of...
I was waiting for...
Following me.
Solidify!
Bombs away!
Squall Fury! Gather! This is order! Water jet! Behold! Wedging vermin! Solidify! Water jet! Wind rises!
The floor is going up! Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place.
Upon the gale. Too slow.
Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up. level is rising. Now we can swim to the top. But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
Gather!
Go! Go! Water jet! Wipe out!
Solidify!
Go! Higher, higher, here's my fire!
Gather! Order guide you!
Go!
The wind rises.
Solidify!
Water jet! Water jet! Yeah!
Behold!
Cry loud!
Stabilize!
Now the path is clear! Let's go!
Quit following me. Too slow.
Gather!
Water jet!
Squall Fury.
Stabilize! I will have order!
Water jet!
Unsightly insects.
Gather!
Bombs away!
Stabilize! Behold!
Cry loud!
Solidify!
Go!
Time to go!
Gather!
As expected, the mastermind isn't here. That's right. Then let's hurry up and find some evidence so we can... What's all this? Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box. Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all these cute things labeled with... Huh? You mean the girls from the series? And all the boxes of things. These names... What's this over here? Looks like some kind... Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial sea and use his theory as a foundation to achieve a breakthrough. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Sorry, traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's just... How can someone write something that terrible and... You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going. So that's why he did all of these Wait, did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane! Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. Ah, you mean Vache is the one who did all of these... experiments? So that's it! Vache was no victim. No, that's not it either! If that's the case, why would he want people to resurface from the water? In any case... Whoa! There's so much synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the Mixing in progress. Ready to drink? Stock sample? Huh. They've also... Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored synth? Yep, it's... Let's see what's written here. Nothing escapes Detective Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an investigation Yep, it's about finding someone to assassinate Jacques and Callus. This should prove the existence of the third person, right? We still have not determined the exact content of the key of... The old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he abides by the promise he's made to us, he can act whenever he wants to make our lives miserable. The only option left is to I concur. Let's send someone to kill him. He won't declare war as long as we don't touch Navia. Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. Oh, look! There's an important-looking basin over here, and it's full of water. That means this is where they make all the synth. And if you dilute it with normal, Paimon will take notes on this incriminating evidence. We've looked at almost everything here, and it seems like our theories... Yeah, we haven't found anything that reveals... No wonder even Nervalette wasn't able to find anything. Whoever it is, probably that way. Even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the true culprit. Sure thing. Paimon won't admit defeat. Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even find snacks either. Whoa, really? Let Paimon see. Vinier. Isn't that Vache's lover's name? Then you found her dead? Aw. It's just a normal diary chronicling their love story. She was so sweet, too. Oh, Paimon feels even worse for her. So many! A whole page's worth! But the final name she decided... Marcel! Wait, but Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that he's Vache and Vinier's grown...
And whose image do you... Is it a man named... Oh, so... I was...
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my partner. I just knew...
Just how often do you intend to
It's all right, Monsieur Nervalette. Given their confidence...
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that...
Huh?
We've investigated your lair, and after your lover, Vinier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women. You even created Marcel as a new identity, and destroyed all records.
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances and with that, Marcel's
This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior... Well, Marcel... You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention. So, you never noticed how we changed.
You also never understood Boss's real expectation.
Or our determination to see things...
Your determination.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise, the trial will move on.
Do you really pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my pain? Ever known how no one helped me? No one even believed me. All those decades ago, they said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice. Your beloved drama. Vinier is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. But I'm not from this blasted place. So I can't be dissolved.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Do you all see? I can't go! I can't follow! So if I can't go where she is, what choice do I... I did all of that. And in the end, I spent my entire life living on pins and needles, only to get stabbed.
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guard!
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near. Vignere, please, Vignere.
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr. Tartaglia no longer...
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that...
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review in some... The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher, and worked as an adventurer with his... During an underwater expedition, Vignere accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea, and was dissolved. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others, and began to kidnap young women. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into... After exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vacher decided to assassinate... Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into... And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using this... However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances. The oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the... According to the judgment of the oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinale, guilty.
Guards! Take... Good. It's...
With that, the serial...
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the true culprit would be such...
Yippee! We have Navia! He's hurt so many innocent people and now he's... Huh? Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were
The day our late boss had always hoped for has finally come. You can rest easy now, knowing...
Yeah. See, Papa?
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served. Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got...
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
Ugh, what now? None of this...
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made...
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time...
Please respect the laws of Fontaine. This has always been the rule.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right?
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has... The guilty party has been identified, and thus it is logical... We now turn to the oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinale. According to the judgment of the oratrice mécanique d'analyse... Guilty.
What?
Hey! That's not funny! What's with this verdict? Is your just...
Huh? This has never happened before. The oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the chief.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the oratrice might have just convicted him on general principle?
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case, right?
The judgment of the oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinale is by law. The fine... Guards, please take the suspect into custody.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Hey, Monsieur Nouvelette, what's...
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established at the conception, all I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Why are you looking at me? I don't know what happened there.
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has no idea either, but that's impossible.
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this really be called just...
My dearest citizens, did you really think we'd allow an incorrect... Don't tell me. You thought even I had been blunt.
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty obvious.
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. Everything that just took place, including and... of course, for every performance, there is a script. Everything has unfolded exactly as I expected from the very beginning. If you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is of everything he's done, not to mention the danger he poses, are beyond. All shall be revealed in time. You will come to understand. Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense, it is now time for this performance to end.
So she chose to make her escape after.
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock?
She probably just put on that performance to save face. As for the truth, it's unlikely that she... However, please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity. Just as I promised, if the judgment has been incorrect, we will do our...
All right. Even though we... After all, he's done plenty of bad stuff, so he should...
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
Marcel! What are you doing?
Stop resisting arrest! Cease!
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name? I erased all records of that name.
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? But the Fountain of Lucine? Then she... Please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the Traveler take me to the fountain to see her one last time. This is the last request I'll ever make in my life. You can do whatever you...
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killers get to make requests like that?
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him what he wants when he's only done it?
This request, is it worth as much to you as your life?
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth even more than my life.
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy... Very well.
Your Honor.
I will go with him. You do not need...
In that case,
Thank you. this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking that thing. Didn't you just drink a lot of it on the stages?
Vache.
Ah!
Yes, that's it.
Vinier, it's me!
Vache?
I'm here! I'm here! Where are you?
Hey, wait!
Vinier, is that you? It's me, Vache!
Vache? Why did you come? Didn't I? You look a lot older than...
It's been more than 20 years. I've suffered for over all this time. Only the thought of bringing you back has kept me alive. I must be dreaming. Who would have thought I'd get the chance to tell you? Vinier, you are my everything. I really don't know how...
But Vache, if you ask me... If not for you, I would have finished my law degree and probably become a top-tier attorney one day. If not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the arts, and my works would have been displayed in the Palais Mermonia itself. If not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of my mother. And she would not have grown old and died alone. It's all because of your selfish...
You... Wait, you are not Vinier.
You're right. I am not. Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our consciousness, our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea, and we were no longer individuals. I'm Cressy. The only one I am not is...
Why? But then...
She doesn't want to see you anymore. This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you did? You are a liar. A heartless murderer. The only thing you are not. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vinier's, she has...
No! Vinier! She can't hate me. Let me see her, please.
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from the real Vinier. But on top of that, she also said that because... She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no...
Vache.
Vache? Vache. 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 Vache.
Drown.
Finally, we have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
Oh, well met, partner. I knew something great was going to happen when I woke up in such a good mood today.
Even this weather can't put a damper on the demoiselle's mood.
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, hey, Navia! It's been a few days. Paimon's already started to miss you.
Oh, now that I believe. I'm easy to work with and always bring home the bacon. It's just everyone from Spain this time, though.
It's been the dearest wish of Demoiselle.
Oh, by the way, well...
Huh? So you know Charlotte too? The Charlotte?
Yeah, way back when I first became the president of the Spina di Rosula, she was all...
believe the story was called The True Heart of Dark. To be fair, though, it was a really flattering feature. So, she was trying to lean on our...
Oh yeah, she told us about that. She's always been...
Anyway, I told her... Oh, and...
Oh, are you...
It was thanks to her that we were able to turn...
Oh, that's...
Anyway, actually...
What is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave and tell him the truth of... And on top of that...
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
We want to go too. We also think...
Sure thing. I'd like you two to share the moment with me. After all, without you...
And in that case, everyone, let's be off. Considering the recent weather, we'll be lucky if...
Yeah, you're right. This is where my father's grave is.
Huh? There's someone there already.
Hmm?
Isn't that Nervalette? Why would the Chief Justice be here? Huh?
My apologies. I should have asked before coming to pay my respects.
Don't say that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I wanted to show my father how much I've grown. But still, I doubt I've grown to the point that even the Chief Justice would feel compelled.
In that case, I will...
You really could use some pointers on understanding human emotion in any case.
Well, ever since that day, I've been turning a question over and over in my head. There was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be anything more important. Oh, rather than that, it's probably more truthful to say I didn't believe humans were capable of resisting the most basic instinct of living things. That they could, which is also why I didn't stop your father from beginning that fate. I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life like that. That there was nothing, should have been nothing more important than one's own continued survival. But Mr. Callus proved me utterly, and if not for his sacrifice, the serial disappearances case would... Mr. Callus made the choice he did for his daughter, for his associates, and for many people complete. And in the end, from a certain perspective, a justice that's higher than... So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callus in person. I should have noticed all of this. Regret has filled me with a sadness that has haunted me for days. That high and mighty chair in the opera Epicles indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your hard work in person.
So, you're actually one of those types that's cold on the outside, but pretty thoughtful on the inside, huh? That reminds me...
Sorry about that. Self-expression is not one of my...
Didn't I just say...
Ah, so Navia... Let's not disturb them for now. We can wait till after they're done. Paimon's never paid respects at someone's grave before. Huh? Oh, Paimon didn't know that was a thing? Oh no. Paimon hopes Miss Navia won't be... Anyway, Nervalette is still standing around there. It's not often that we can catch him alone like this, so why don't we go talk to him for a bit?
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navia invite you?
We ran into Navia on the streets.
I see.
Well, it's pretty hard to...
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine. Your sibling, another blonde-haired traveler. If she ever stepped foot in Fontaine, I'm sure she followed our laws to the letter. Is there anything else?
So, at court, the bad guys referred to that special water?
Truthfully, that name is already quite accurate. I can only surmise that Vache and his ilk only learned of its nature and existence after. There used to be a special sea on the surface of this planet. The nature most of Tevat's.
Huh. So it really was where...
But today, the primordial sea no longer exists on the planet's surface. What Vache discovered must have been some kind of special case, or...
Huh.
Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to engender and nurture life... To be frank, that also doesn't match my understanding of this. Is there anything else? That the sea levels will rise and everyone will be dissolved in water, leaving Farina crying alone on her throne, but the sins of the people will be... Does that appropriately summarize the version you've heard?
That's right! It was Linny that told us back then.
Yes, up to the present, I think we reached a point where we have no choice but to confront this prophecy. Rumors have it that this prophecy is rooted in the last words the former Hydro Archon left to the world before she passed away.
A prophecy? Of the former Hydro Archon?
2 parts of the prophecy have already proven correct. The rising sea levels and the ability of the people of Ffontaine to be dissolved. We should be more vigilant and stay on the... Speaking of the prophecy, Farina has also always taken it quite seriously. If the rumors were true, then perhaps this prophecy is the
But with Farina being...
Is there anything else? My apologies. However, I still believe the judgment...
But...
For many years, I have been quite aware that the Oratrice does not simply mechanically repeat the verdict that I give on each case. As a divinely created mechanism, the people's unified faith in the concept of justice is Not only can it produce the incredible power of indemnitium, but it likely... Which is all to say, I have been prepared for a situation like this.
Huh. So when Linny told us that he heard a human voice...
I was not aware such a thing had occurred. Perhaps that could serve to prove my... In any case, I am inclined to believe that the Oratrice does have a methodology. Based on Farina's reaction, I doubt even she had any idea what was going on. She managed to bluff her way through. While we do intend to get to the bottom of this, for now, we regret to say that if we did incorrectly convict him of crimes he did not commit, we will most certainly compensate him to the...
If you ask Paimon, the only compensation he'll want is a no-holds-barred fight with you.
Is there anything else you'd... Very well. It will soon be time for me to leave this blissful tranquility be...
You really are super busy, Monsieur Neuvillette. Paimon...
Crime and villainy do not have the day off, and so justice must...
All right. Huh? Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped.
Solidify! Go! This is order! Swan Fury! Unsightly insects! Stabilize! Go! Wind rises!
Unnecessary.